The macro that we're going to work on today was inspired by a conversation with a colleague that I had a couple of years ago. She was telling me that she had to reschedule an important meeting today because when she had originally made it, she was looking too far ahead on her calendar. This is because earlier in that day, she happened to be planning for some other event and just forgot to reset the calendar. And so you're on the phone with somebody, they're saying, hey, what's your tomorrow look like? And you have the phone in one hand and you're guiding your computer with the other, and you think, oh yeah, Thursday is totally fine. See, my Thursday is totally free. But then the morning of rolled around, she looks at her agenda and realizes, oh no, there's actually a whole bunch of stuff that she had to do that day. So she said, I really wish that there was some way that whenever you switched over to your calendar, it would just take you to today, so this kind of thing wouldn't happen. And so that went into my brain and tickled that little spot that says, hey, that's a problem. It needs solving. I'm going to try and solve that problem. And so today's macro is going to be dedicated to my old coworker, Katie. I hope she's watching this. So as always, we got to figure out how to do it manually before we can build a macro in Keyboard Maestro. What are the two things that we need to do? We need to make it go to today, and we need to set it to week view. That's not necessarily as important. I just like week view, so that's the way that I'm building it. So I'm guessing that it's going to be here in the view menu, and indeed we have both our commands here. By week and go to today. So we've got a couple of menu actions that we're going to set as our actions. Let's go to Keyboard Maestro. That's keyboard. And I'm going to create a new one. Let's call it All We See Today. What are our actions? I'm just going to search for a menu, select or show a menu item. If we recall, it's in the view by week. And our second one, what was it? View, go to today. And so let's just give this my normal ad hoc trigger of option tick. Let's look a couple of months down the road, option tick. There we go, we're back to today and we're in the week view. So that works. The actions that we're doing work just fine. But we need to make this so that whenever we switch to the calendar, then the macro will run. Because if we remember to press the hotkey, then we already know that we're not there. This is to take away just simple human error. Let's change the trigger from a hotkey to an application trigger. When calendar activates, then it's going to run the macro. So let's switch down to something else, switch off it. Now when we switch back, it should trigger. And there it goes. Cool. We're almost all the way done. We just need to add one little final bit of polish. Now, it does happen that sometimes you need to look further in the future, switch over to some other app like your email or your web browser, and then to check something, and then switch back, and then, oh, damn it, you're back to today. That's really annoying. So we need to build in a very easy way that we can kind of shut off this macro or make sure that it doesn't run. So my particular solution that I like, instead of running some kind of toggle, is to use a bit of logic. So we're going to use the if, then, else. This action allows you to define a bit of logic and then have things run. Here's my particular solution. We're going to use a modifier condition. Specifically, as long as the caps lock, this is the sign for caps lock, as long as the caps lock is not active, then it's going to execute the macro. So the caps lock is not on right now. The macro runs. But let's say that I am in that situation that I just described of I need to refer to emails or I need to look at a web browser and have January of 2018 going, then I can turn on my caps lock, go over somewhere else, go to my mail. I'm not going to show you my mail, go to Text Wrangler, whatever. And as long as the caps lock is running, then the macro knows not to run. So I can turn the caps lock off, go to something else, come back, and there it's back again. This is my particular solution. You might want something different. I think it's elegant, I like it, but your mileage may vary. And that's about all I have to say about this particular macro. I hope it's useful to you. Even if it isn't applicable to your specific situation, I urge you to look at the reasoning behind making it. And that was that you or a colleague might have a minor annoyance or something in your work life is not functioning the way that you want it to. I want you to understand that you have the ability to change that and to create solutions for yourself. Remember to like, share, subscribe, stay empowered, and stay curious.